All right, let's talk about it. How to stop caring what other people think. Do you ever feel like you're playing a role? Living your life based on a script written by everyone but you? Well, in this explainer, we're going to tear up that script. We're breaking down exactly how to build that rock-solid inner confidence you need to finally trust yourself and carve out your own path.
So, does this question hit a little too close to home? That little voice in your head, constantly whispering, what will they think? It's exhausting, right? It's like walking around with a giant weight on your shoulders, and it holds so many of us back from what we really want. If you're nodding along right now and you're just done with it, then you are absolutely in the right place.
Because this is the whole point, right? Living life on your own terms. And let's be clear, this isn't about becoming some cold, selfish person who doesn't care about anyone. Not at all. It's about reclaiming your own power to build a life that feels genuinely, authentically yours. So, you ready? Let's figure out how we get there.
Okay, first things first. Before we can fix anything, we've got to understand what's broken. The journey always starts with understanding the why. If you want to change a habit, you have to know where it's coming from. So let's grab a shovel and start digging into the real root of why we care so darn much.
When you get right down to it, it really boils down to two super powerful, totally human drivers. The first one, a deep-seated fear of rejection. I mean, we're social animals, right? Our brains are wired to see being cast out as a major threat. And the second thing is that constant need for approval. That little hit of external validation that tells us, yep, you're okay, you're good enough.
But here's the secret, and it is a seriously freeing one. The truth is, everyone is focused on themselves, not on you. We walk around feeling like there's this giant, harsh spotlight following our every move. But in reality, most people are so worried about the light shining on them that they barely even notice ours. Just letting that sink in, man, it can lift an enormous weight right off your shoulders.
And this right here, this is the fundamental shift we've got to make. It's all about changing the question. We need to go from what will they think of me to what do I think of me? See the difference? You're basically stopping the outsourcing of your self-worth and bringing that whole operation back in-house. Because at the end of the day, the only opinion that actually builds your life is your own. So, I want you to let this sink in. Make it your new mantra. Say it to yourself. People's opinions don't define me. My actions do. It is such a powerful reminder that your identity isn't shaped by what people might whisper. No way. It's shaped by the real, tangible things you actually do, the choices you make day in and day out, and the character you build along the way. Okay, so how do we actually break this pattern? Well, the very first step is to identify your triggers. You need to know what sets this whole thing off. Think of it like you're becoming a detective of your own mind. When do you feel that little spike of self-consciousness? What specific people or situations send you spinning into that overthinking spiral?
And here are some of the usual suspects. Social media is a huge one, isn't it? That endless scroll through everyone else's perfect highlight reel while you're sitting there with your, real life. Then there's judgment from friends or coworkers. That stings. And sometimes it's just that deep fear of embarrassment, of looking foolish. The key is to recognize your specific triggers, because once you can see them coming, you can start to disarm them.
All right, so we figured out our why. Now for the next phase, building your inner fortress. This is all about developing unshakable self-trust. We're going to construct a mental and emotional fortress so strong that those little arrows of external opinion just bounce right off.
And here's the secret weapon. True confidence kills the need for approval. It really does. When you are genuinely, truly confident in yourself, you just don't need other people to co-sign your worth anymore. You become your own source of validation. And real confidence, it's not loud, it's a quiet, steady, internal feeling.
So how do we actually build that? It's not magic. Here are 3 super practical things you can do. First, focus on your strengths and your past wins. Literally make a list. Remind yourself what you're good at. Second, set and achieve small daily goals. This builds momentum and proves to yourself that you can do things. And third, practice positive self-talk. You've got to rewrite that inner script because the voice in your head, it shapes your entire reality. We can get really complicated with this stuff, but let's just boil it down. What is confidence? It's self-trust. That's it. It's trusting your own judgment, trusting your abilities, and maybe most importantly, trusting that you have the resilience to handle whatever life throws at you.
And we have to talk about the difference between confidence and its loud, obnoxious cousin, arrogance. They're not the same thing. See, arrogance is actually a sign of deep insecurity. It's all a performance, a show put on to get approval by acting superior. Real confidence? It doesn't need to shout, it just is.
Okay, another really important part of building that inner fortress is practicing detachment. And I know that word can sound a little cold, but it's not about being uncaring. It's about creating a healthy emotional buffer zone between you and the things you just can't control, like what's going on inside someone else's head.
So what does that look like in real life? Well, it means being centered, not cold or rude. It means when someone criticizes you, you don't have to have a knee-jerk reaction. You can just pause, take a breath, see if there's anything useful in what they said, and then just filter out the rest as unhelpful noise. That right there? That's the secret to peace of mind. So, we've done the internal work. We're building the fortress. Now it's time to take this stuff out into the real world. This next part is all about reclaiming your power with practical, everyday actions you can take to stop giving it away to other people.
And here are 4 powerful ways to do it. Number 1, stop over-explaining. Remember, no is a complete sentence. You don't owe anyone a novel. 2, make choices based on your values, not what you think other people expect. 3, curate your circle. Be super intentional about who gets your time and energy. And 4, embrace silence. You really don't have to fill every gap, and you definitely don't know anyone in defense of who you are.
And that last point about your circle is so important. The people around you literally shape how you see yourself. So you have to choose wisely. Your friends, your family, your coworkers, they will either build you up and champion you, or they will subtly or not so subtly force you to shrink yourself to fit in. Your inner circle should be your charging station, not a place you go to get judged.
And all of this, understanding your why, building that fortress, reclaiming your power, it's all leading to this, the final, most empowering stage of all, learning to live unapologetically. This is the ultimate goal. This is authentic freedom.
So, what does that actually look like day to day? Well, it's about embracing your quirks and imperfections, all the weird, wonderful stuff that makes you, you. It's about doing things that make you proud, not things you do for a round of applause from others. And finally, it's about living in alignment, making sure your actions line up with your deepest values.
So, after all this work, what's the big prize? What is the ultimate freedom you get at the end of this journey? It's this. It's being unapologetically you. That's it. The freedom to just exist as you are without feeling like you have to apologize for it and without constantly looking to the outside world for permission or validation. That, right there, is everything.
So I'm going to leave you with this one last question to chew on. What would you do? What would you really do if you knew for a fact that no one would judge you? Take a second and really think about that. Because your answer? It just might be the roadmap to your most authentic life. Thanks for tuning in to This Explainer.